hi everybody. I guess I'll do an introduction. I've been toying with the idea of doing my own show. It's like a calling. I really, 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 really wanted to do it. I'm like, I'm gonna reach out to MJ. I'm just gonna start the ball there. And then we did it. And you said yes, so here we are. So I'm gonna make and everybody okay, so this is MJ and we met um anyway, I'm gonna let you talk.
No, go
Okay.
ahead. Where did we meet?
Okay.
In
We
Go
met
ahead.
at the Freeport Guitar Show, or the guitar show in
Uh-huh.
Freeport, and,
Exactly.
so it was oh my god, it was like salivating over all the guitars, and I was telling Milo that, I forgot my glasses because I wear reading glasses because 'cause I'm a seasoned woman, so all I had was these dark, big sunglasses, and I needed them because they had bifocals in them, and my friend Jack's like, "No, you look cool." So I felt like such a dork, so I was, like, walking around like a wannabe rock star, and then it was, like, all old men, but when I say old men, I mean a little younger than me and up because I'm oldish too, and I saw MJ. I'm like, "Oh my god, a chick bass player," because it's just so stupid, but, like, I just felt so outnumbered, and then you were like this ray of light, like, smile was like a ray of light. I'm like, "I could be her friend." So we just started talking, like, as if I don't know, it was like we were little kids. I bet everybody feels that way when they first meet you, but I certainly did, and,
Wow.
it felt like I knew you for, like, a really long time, even though I just met you. So that's the story. We
Wow.
exchanged phone numbers, and I don't know too much about you, but that's why one of the reasons why I invited you on the show, because I figure it's easier than texting. We'll just speak. So there you go. And I'm doing this so other people can talk. So I'm done.
Yes, my name is Mary Jane, and I love playing the bass guitar. So I'm going to read a little bio about me.
Yes.
I'm also known as my Loosefingers, and I study under numerous big name bass players in my community and around the USA. One of them is Rick James, another one, Victor Wooden, Divinity Rocks, Gerald Vesey's Bass Boot Camp. I have his t shirt on, Gerald Vesey's Bass Boot Camp. And at the Bass Boot Camp, we also had fun meeting people like Marcus Miller, Anthony Wellington, Tony Gray. These are all like jazz bass players. The way I started is we always had a keyboard around the house, and we always had instruments in the home where I grew up. So I started fiddling around on the piano, and I loved the sound of a piano, but I realized I loved the bass part more. So growing up with members of my family who were musicians, let's see, I had the passion for the sound of the bass. So I started playing upright bass in high school as a sophomore. We had a female bass player, and she graduated. So they needed someone to play bass, and it was one of those big, heavy, upright basses, and it sort of slid, boom, hit me in the head, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna play this thing. So to strengthen my bass training and to expand my chops, I attended a college called Villa Maria. It's on the outside of Buffalo. And at Villa Maria, I had an instructor. His name was Jim Kirchstoffer, and he was the bass player for a group called Spyro Gyra. So he's the one who really taught me how to like slap bass, and he was a jazz bass player. So that's why I started studying more about jazz. I also hung out with bass players and other musicians that were in town. Um, Such musicians like I used to go and hang out with Oster Austin. He was the bass player. All right. So I became friends. I knew Rick James. I grew up around him, and he used to he used to come down to a place called Pierce Arrow. And one day, our little band, which was called Purple Passion, was playing, and my bass malfunctioned, and he let me use his bass, and he actually let me keep it. But do I have it today? No, because by me moving around, I gave it to my nephew, and I don't know what happened to it after that because that was many, many, many years ago. So over the years, I developed my skills by attending base camps and base clinics and base gyms. And by doing that, that's how um, I networked. That's how I got a chance to meet some of the biggest, most famous bass players in the world. And because people always say, how do you know this person or that person? A lot of them taught at these base camps, and a lot of them have their own base camps. Victor Wooten has a base camp every summer in the month of June. Drill Veasley's base camp is held in August. I've been going to Drill Veasley's base camp for at least probably I would say 10 years. I think I started in 2014 and he started his base camp in 2002. So I have on his t-shirt now and it says what does it say? It says 20th year anniversary. So he had his space camp for 20 years because this shirt is the latest shirt out. Let me see. So some of the instructors that I study under is Ariana Cap. She has a bass school online on YouTube. I studied under her for a while. I studied under Victor Wooden, one of my instructors, Brad Russell. Brad Russell is very good at theory, tapping, slapping. Patrick Pfeiffer. Patrick Pfeiffer is very good at theory and he does a lot of jazz. And let me see. Under these by studying under these people, I end up developing my own little band and we were called the Pantry Band and we had fun. We did a lot of rock and roll, but my favorite music is um
Okay, everybody should hear me now.
Oh yeah, you're back.
I apologize to every all we have a couple of people watching, and I apologize, we're having some tech issues or data issues.
and we're back. Okay, so in Cuba, we studied a lot of theory. And what we learned is you don't have to have your bass in your hand in order to study music. And some of the things, the first thing that we learned was fun. It was like, okay, there's only 7 letters in the music alphabet. So then we go, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All right. And then he said, okay, you know how to say it forward? Well, the first thing you have to learn is how to say it backwards. So then you got to go GFEDCBA. And then that's
Wow.
just the beginning of learning your fourth and
Wow.
fifth. Then he add in one flat. Then you add in your B flat. Then you add, two, your E flat. Then your three, EA, then your D, then your G, C, and your F. And you learn your alphabets. You learn your flats, your sharps, you learn your major, minor, harmonics, a lot of things you learn in bass camp and bass clinics where you don't have to bring your bass. But in bass camp,
Wow.
that's the workout. Gerald Veasley's bass boot camp is tons of fun, but you also you're going nonstop, nonstop. But at the end, you are rewarded with a certificate that says that you earned this. And by the time you finish, they give you enough homework to last a whole year. So you when you go back the following year, you may have all new teachers. But this Joe Beasley started this camp with his wife and with Lee Patterson. And those two, they make sure that you don't leave there without understanding or learning something. So this year we had Joe Amanda, we had let me see, we had Ryan. They always have one female. Drill VC is the leader. Tim Hudson is the drummer. We have a drummer. Tony Gray, he's like outstanding. Rob Rob Smith, he teaches you. He add in the tapping and slapping. Chris Farr, he plays trumpet, and Chris Farr also
Oh,
um he
nice.
also teaches you voice lessons, because another thing you can do how to learn to play the bass is learn you have to um, train your ears to know intervals or the distance between two notes, and that's one thing. We had Oscar, and Oscar taught us a lot about Spanish music. And then we had John, which John is a beast on bass. He does the slapping, he does everything. But a lot of you, by the time you leave there, you if you don't know how to what ear training is, you'll learn. And some of the things that we do is at the end, we all have to get on stage and play out one song to show or play what you learn. You don't even have to play one song. It comes in different grades or different stages. So you have the beginner stage. They usually get on stage and play one note, or they may play all their open strings, but they can show you that they learned how to hold the bass. They can show you that they learned the strings and how the bass is how it's developed and the frets and each part, the body, the nuts, the bridge, the pickups. You learn all of that in beginner's class. Then you can go to the next class, I think it's intermediate. And that's when you start learning your notes, your theory. And then they have upper intermediate, I think it's called. And that's where, you know, theory gets a little more intense. And then they have advanced
Mm.
class. I think everybody in advanced class, it's just what it is, advanced. So now I'm gonna stop boring you about my life, and I'm gonna but if you want, I'm also on YouTube. So if you ever want to know a little more about base camp or these clinics that I go to, Sweetwater's have a nice clinic. I haven't made it there yet.
Oh, wow.
Um, yes, and it's a beast. I'm just trying. I'm working on Victor Wooten's base camp, and Victor Wooten is working on doing something with female bass players. Don't tell him I told you that. And
Yes.
um and they're just making it more known, just like women in sports. They're making it more known that women are bass players too. And so the first bass I'm gonna show you, this one I use every Sunday when I play in church. I really only play 4 string, but sometimes I do play 5 string. I'm learning. I'm teaching myself 5 string, and I'm rekindling with the upright. So here, this one here, you can see it. Can you see it?
Ooh, what?
Not really.
I see the neck.
Bring it back a little bit. No, bring. Okay.
This one here is called an MTD bass. This is the MTD. This is by Mike Tobias. Mike Tobias makes some of the best basses out there. And this here is maple wood. And this here is just his this isn't his top of the line. He has top of the line basses.
What?
Uh this is just my everyday bass. And then
Wow.
if you know the female bass player, jazz bass player, her name is Michelle, I think is Cello. This is her
Oh,
bass right
wait.
here. And it's called a Reverend. And the name of her bass is called Fellowship. If you can see it, she signed it right there.
Oh, that is
But if you see
beautiful.
this bass, it's that's her bass. I like to play this bass because I put thinner strings on it. My bottom string is a 30. One of my instructors, Reggie Wooten, Victor's brother, he told me to bring my strings lighter, and it
What is
also have a higher sound. But it's not a piccolo bass, but it has a nice tune to it. So if I want to like solo, if I'm in church and I want to make the emotions, make things more emotional, I would probably bring this one. The black one's what I use every Sunday. And then when it comes down to playing funk, this is a precision bass right here. Jazz. This is a jazz bass. This is a 1968 Fender Jazz. You can see it.
what?
So this one here is like what Jocko will play. This is what you would hear
Wow.
like on the old school songs, like "Good Times" and anything from the '80s, if you can see it. And it's not active. This is just
Nice.
this is a real Fender. That's the Fender from back in the days. You can see it has the piece on there, the finger rests. So then
Cool.
I have this 5 string, the pink one. I bought this color because I just like the color pink. You can see it's a 5 string,
That
and
is
it's
a
an
good
MTD
reason.
also. I love the MTD bass.
I have to
If
check
I
them
can turn
out.
my phone around, you get a better view. But it has the scope pickups,
It's like
right?
pink nail polish pink.
Nah.
It's a beautiful
Wow,
color.
Yep.
like my
Wow.
nails.
Oh yeah, you have oh yeah, I just noticed your nails too. I
Now
just think that's like
this one here is a weird bass. This here has what we call it's called a dingwall, and a dingwall has fan frets, which means the frets, if you can see it, they curve. And the reason why it curve is you're gonna get that tone, the same tone you get on the big end, on the smaller end. So I don't
oh.
know if you can see the frets.
You mean it's like scalloped?
It's like say that again.
Is it s scalloped? Like little
They
scallops?
lean to the side. Let's see if I can
Okay.
get a better shot. They look like a fan, like they come like in layers. So if you look
Okay.
at Dingwall, then you will see this base, and this base was basically all the parts come from Canada, and then this one here is like a it has a violin sound, and this one here is fretless. This is the stick bass.
Ooh.
Can you see that one?
You have to know what you're doing to play fretless. But
And
I
this
guess you started on a stand-up bass, so that probably gives you a little
so I don't know if you can see it.
idea.
Can can you see it?
No, not yet,
Oh, hold on.
but
Let me
I
see
love
if
the
I
pictures on your wall.
thank you.
Oh,
Can you see it now?
nice. Is that what you were playing when I met you at the guitar show? Like, not
I
that one, but
remember. Yeah, me
we
and
met at a
the
booth,
bass
right?
player. Yes, we were playing this one. You remember?
Is
Those
that
are
the one you?
hot.
Is that what you call? Is that bass you call the stick?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
stick bass. Okay. Then if you look on the wall, I don't know if you can see it. Let me see. Right there, that's an Ibanez. Can you see that one?
Yes, well, we did,
Turn it.
but
Turn it again. Right.
yeah, there you go.
All right, that's
Yes.
Ibanez. I love Ibanez basses. And then if you look at the picture under it, that's I go to a place called Nam Show every year, and that is Janice Johnson from Taste of Honey. She did the song Boogie Oogie Oogie.
Yeah, oh, my neighbor plays that. Doo doo doo
Yeah,
doo doo doo
and
doo doo doo.
then
Boo doo
next to
boo doo
her,
doo 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 doo.
if you see on the wall, this is called Third Eye Girl. I don't know if you can see it. She plays for Prince. Well, she played for Prince. And
Oh.
then that's Larry Graham, if you could see it. I'm not sure if you can see it. And
Move it
above
back.
all of
Move it
them,
over to
that's
the right,
Bootsy.
and then bring it down a little.
That's
No.
my funky dude, Bootsy, my favorite. Then over here, I have is the girl that's out now, Mohina Day, and David Dyson. Then I got this beautiful picture. I don't know if you can see it from Cuba. And then I have pictures of a lot of musicians. But back to the bass. This one here is called a bass mod. Bass mods are hard to get. This is a vintage bass mod. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Bass
Oh,
mod has the funkiest sound. It's good for slapping. So that's a bass mod. And
nice.
then I come into my more higher end basses. And this one here is called a Warrior. They're both custom made. And this Warrior is, I had this made, and they only make 13. It's called an Isla J.
So
So this one here,
what did you get
if you look up Warrior
customized?
basses,
That's
look up Ken Smith.
beautiful.
You can look up on any of these basses online. And this one
What
here is
did you
very
cus what did you customize on
so
it?
the soap bars, pickups too.
Soap bar
These I like
pickups.
to use if I'm playing um if I'm playing in a larger group because the sound on these are like amazing. The preamps in them are like devastating. Like, whoa, what was that? You hear that bass?
Really? Soap bars they have in like is it that you think it's the same as in Les Pauls?
Les Pauls, no,
The
because
same
these are
pickup?
custom made. Like you can go
Okay.
into a store or you can order a Les Paul off of like Sweetwaters, but like Warriors and Ken Smiths, you can only probably buy them used or you can have them custom made.
So like
And
what did
then it's customized because I picked the wood. This is made
okay.
out of 5 different woods. The front part is tiger. Oh, turning my phone around. Tiger wood. Right?
Oh.
Um, I had the knobs. These knobs are
Wow.
right. Had them made. Each this here, if you look at the back, each stripe, you have 5 different layers. This is their 30th anniversary. So you can see it right there on the battery pack.
Yes.
So each this here I can send you some pictures was made from scratch. Each piece of wood was cut, each piece of wood was layered. Um the front wood,
Wow.
the front, if you look at the 12th fret, if you can see it, it's a cross.
Oh wow.
And it's 34-inch scale. If you look right here, you see the nut. So if you look at the Ken Smith, which is also a custom made bass, it's also made out of tiger wood. But the tiger wood on this one's the back. If you look at the nut is metal.
Does
If you
that
can
mean
see
you
it
can
right here.
golf with it too? I'm
Because
just it's a
you
dumb
can buy
joke.
Ken, huh?
This is- I said, does that mean you can golf with it too? Tiger Wood.
Right.
Oh
Stupid.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. Tiger
Boom,
wood.
boom, boom. Yeah.
Um, if you look at the neck, see the neck on that one is more maple. It's white. This one here is brown. This one here is a acoustic. It's called a gold tone. This one is small. Can you see that one?
Not real. Now it
No.
looks like is that an acoustic?
Yeah, that's an acoustic. That's a small
Nice.
bass. It's good for when you land in the bed and you don't feel like holding anything heavy. I don't know if you
Wait,
can really see it. I'm gonna show you. This one is what I would recommend for any new bass player or anyone who's just starting out. I would even go down another step. But this is by Marcus Miller. This is his siren bass. Can you
that's
see it?
beautiful.
It has the soap pitch pickups too. It has
Wow.
passive and active. And if you look behind it, that's my very old upright. I put her in the corner. Then I like Ampeg amps. So here's an Ampeg amp. This
Yeah.
box right here is called an ear tuner. When you can either download your music or put a CD in here and slow your music down to learn it. This pedal I
Wow.
like. It's called an octave pedal.
Nice. I used to have one of those, but my
Oh,
whole pedal board burned out
Oh boy.
back in like the late 90s.
you can't
Whoa.
go wrong with an octave
Create a
pedal.
new one now, Phil.
It make
Yeah.
you an octave pedal will make you sound good no matter what. Then this is I use Mark bass amp. You see that one?
Yes.
And on top I still use uh books. And then this one here is called a jam station. It's by Boss. It plays all the other instruments and you can write your own bass line. You can pick the kind of groove you want. It's just a fun little tool to have. If you can see it, it has rock, R&B, blues, fusion, dance, Latin, country, world, and you just program it, and whatever you want to hear, it plays the other instruments, and then you add in your bass lines.
She's amazing, and she has a lot of amazing gear.
I am
Too bad.
floored by this collection. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
All right, so this is a rhythm box. This Dr. Rhythm section DR5. It teaches you chords, so you can learn how to play with chords if you've got a good ear without even listening. I mean, without even knowing them. This one here is a. Let me see if you can see this. This is a bass synth. So if you know how to play, if you know your keys on the keyboard, you can also play some bass. Like on a lot of Stevie Wonder songs use this. Under that is a positive bar amp. It's nice. Under that is the orange. I don't know if you can see this stuff. But that's the spark.
Oh, yeah, I see the orange.
And then I use that.
Nice. Wow.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, we have the drum set and the guitars, and we all plug up and then just act real goofy, you know. And that's the bulk of enjoying your life as a musician. You know, you make it happen. You make whatever you want happen.
Like
Cool.
Yeah.
us.
You have any questions about any of the instruments or any anything at all?
I just did have a question, as a matter of fact. Do you travel for the base camps or are they local?
I travel because base camp, Drill VC's base camp is located in Philly. So
Love Philly.
I go up there every year, and then in January I'm going to NAM show, which is more like merchants, but a lot of the musicians perform at the NAM show.
Yeah.
And then I was
I have to
invited
get
to go
have
to
to get I have to get to NAMM. I'm dying to go.
yeah,
It's in the winter, right? Like
it's
in
in
Anaheim,
January.
it's in
I think it
January.
just
I'm
came
gonna
back
go
Yes,
to
to normal after the pandemic. It kind of fizzled out a little bit, but because they were trying to get their members back, and I think it moved to a different time. But I think it's back to normal now, right, Mary Jane?
it's back to normal, but they also have one in June. The one in June is held in
see in June.
In June, yeah.
yeah, but that's the smaller one. The biggest one is in Anaheim at the Anaheim Center,
Are you going
and the
this year?
smaller one is in
It
Tennessee.
happened already in January. I think you got to go to 2025 now.
Well, yeah, but that's coming
Yes,
up. So, I meant you're
yes,
right,
20.
next year. What I'm yeah,
Yep, I'm all ready to go.
technically.
I already started packing. I'm like,
I might
oh, I'm going to NAM show.
I
And
might meet you
then
there. I might see you there. I'll
Nice.
text you.
Anthony Wellington, his clinics are held in different places. So in February, he's going back to Cuba. He already sent me an invitation to come back to Cuba. But I think this year I'm going to sit out because I have a few things I have to take care of. And then June, I believe I'm going to Victor Wooten's camp because I know Victor and his brother. So the fun part is when I would feel comfortable there. Sometimes you go to these base camps, these guys are way good, and you're like really nervous. But the thing is, you can't let them intimidate you. You just have to jump in there and do what you do.
I know the
Let me,
feeling.
huh?
I always remind myself that I'm not trying to be the best guitar player there ever was. When I feel like that, I'm just trying to be the best that I can do and serve the song, which isn't
Nice.
always like that doesn't always serve the song. When it
Okay.
does, I'm jealous because I'm not going to do that, but yeah, I know that feeling.
I love watching the kids go up there and show off because it shows that at least music is still around. Most of them who show off though, they just want to do the tapping and slapping instead of playing a um a, a good song. But I like the ones who play a good song.
I think you were fabulous. It's just so
Fantastic.
fascinating, all your gear and your
Yeah.
knowledge
Yeah.
and your musical journey is so unique and fascinating, and the people that you know that it's brought you to. I thought it was a great interview.
You
Yeah.
asked a question, how did Brenda and I meet?
Yes.
To make a long story short, yeah, I am a bassist, but I hadn't played for some time, and I had moved on and gone on to audio recording and editing and so on, and virtual audio, audio. Because I have a
Yes.
virtual, yeah, I have a virtual project studio in which I've worked with, many, artists as well, and it's just a cool thing. So,
Oh,
I was on Facebook, on social media, and I would see Mary Jane online, with certain artists and so on, and said the same thing. I'm like, who is this? What's this chick? And then we were also on a Facebook basis, a female basis kind of page also, in which I saw she was also a member. And I'm like, I gotta meet Mary Jane. She knows a lot of people. She seems like amazing. So I just started typing, hey Mary Jane, I play bass also. You're awesome. What are you doing? I saw you were at this bass camp. How was that? Blah blah blah. And then we just started talking, on social media and more. And we were members of this bassist group on Facebook also. So we started doing pandemic came, and then we started on doing Zoom, kind of get-togethers. Okay,
nice.
yeah, and it was kind of cool. So we continued to do that until we just met locally also in Long Island. Okay, so
Yay.
it was so cool because I live in Flushing. I live in Flushing, and
Okay, cool, cool.
yeah, so I came out to Long Island, and we just and like you said, Mary Jane is very easy to connect with. She's very easygoing, really cool people, and knows her stuff, and just fun to be around. And it was amazing. So we're kind of growing like musically and growing friendship together. It's been several years already, so it's kind of cool, very groovy.
That's awesome. And comes to I didn't see the producer and audio engineer part, and I'm thinking maybe I've heard of you, but I'm trying not to be, like,
Yeah.
starstruck or anything. Yeah,
No, no,
yeah.
no,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I'm a, like, novice producer. I say novice, it's been, like, 3 or 4 years already, so I'm going down that wormhole. That's part of my journey too, because 'cause I'm mostly a
Cool.
songwriter, so it's just that's my, I guess, strong suit. So sometimes if I for some reason, I think maybe I'm learning disabled, but music theory, I like tried so many times and I can't wrap my brain around it. But the studio, when you see it in that format, it's kind of like the same thing, but without having to read a musical staff.
It's
It's
true.
just a whole other way of presenting and layering and timing. So I'm finally grasping. And it's
Yeah.
such a great feeling because listen, I'm not like I'm too old to be an emerging artist, but yet I
Yeah.
feel like I'm emerging every day with this wormhole that I'm going in with studio and
Absolutely.
arranging and composing. It's just awesome. So
No, it is awesome, and you have the right mindset for that. We'll do some stuff offline. We'll talk about it and see what we have in common with
definitely.
that. Yeah.
And like
Thank you for the interview. If
has
you ever
nothing
need
to do.
somebody, you could call me. You could call Brenda. You need somebody else. We know tons of
Always,
musicians and bass players.
always. I'm making it my mission in 2025, which isn't that long, and hopefully before, to work at a more rapid rate. So not only to be more efficient in the studio, but to collaborate. Because I'm like laying every single track and it's just like it's really fun, but uh, it takes a lot of time,
It takes a lot
so
of time, and it is good to collaborate with people, because what you don't your experience in one thing is good, and then another person's experience in another thing, and then that comes together like really quickly. So, and you learn
100%.
you learn from each other. It's cool.
And I've played in bands before, but it's just been a very, very long time, so I miss that feeling. Okay, do you have an easy, um, Instagram, beloved, that I could comment right here on the Instagram
That's
Live or
B dot love LUV 11,
LUV 11?
the
Okay,
number 11, yeah. And on Facebook, if you want to go, you can go to Beta Groove Music, BETTA Groove
BETTA.
Groove.
Just no hyphen or anything, just
Nope.
Better Groove?
Beta Groove Music.
Better Groove Music. Okay,
Yes.
great. Alright. Mary Jane, have you ever been on any, interviews or podcast interviews before?
If you go to my YouTube page,
Cool.
This was so fun. Thank you so much
Way
for
fun.
joining me and your time.
Thank
It
you.
was
I was here to
awesome.
support Mary Jane. She's awesome.
Oh, yeah, we have to get you. I mean,
send me
we'll
some
have
more
a
of your music. Let me hear what you did lately.
oh, I will, I will. I have some new stuff since I sent you that last song, and then I have something else very soon too. And then I
Okay.
have friends coming over, so hopefully I can churn it out a little quicker. And I have someone coming over and I'm gonna record his song. I met him at an open mic. So
Nice.
finally, after just recording me and my spouse, I'm finally gonna put myself out there and record. And it could be horrible, but you know what? I'm gonna try. So
That's
there you
right.
go.
That's
It
right.
was a
Do it.
pop song. It was a pop song, which is I love pop music. I grew up with Madonna and,
Yeah.
Taste of Honey.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Dance pop, anything pop or dance, and Led Zeppelin thrown in there. Okay.
Ah, yes. Yes.
You say. Definitely holds up to the test of time.
Sure
Okay,
does.
yeah, this is awesome. I was saying when B-Love comes to New York again, we gotta have coffee or lunch or a drink.
We'll do
So,
it.
okay. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Thank
Thank
you.
you.